Their name is Clippy. Clippy, are you at least 18 years of age, bud?
Yeah, what's up, bro?
Good. What pronouns do you go by?
I guess he, him, I guess.
Yeah, I do. Gonna let you leave the show for a while. All right, no problem. No problem, Ben. Thank you. Okay, don't worry. I agree, sober. I agree. I believe that Jesus is coming back.
I do.
Why should I think that Jesus is coming back?
Oh, well, that's a multifaceted question. So, would you want to talk about the proof of Jesus' divinity, or would you want to talk about, like,
Why should I think?
specific?
Just why should I think he's coming back?
Well, because he said it, and we
Okay.
have proof.
What else did he say about it?
Do you have anything you want to comment on it?
So I'm aware that he made the claim he was coming back, but what does he say about it? When he makes a claim he's coming back, what does he say about it?
Would be end times.
What did he say in Matthew 16? Have you read Matthew 16?
I have. I couldn't tell you exactly what he said in Matthew 16, though.
27 to 28. For the Son of Man is to come with his angels in the glory of his Father, and then he will repay everyone for what has been done. Sound familiar?
If that's the verse, then sure.
Yeah. Truly I say to you, there are some standing here who will not taste death before they see the Son of Man coming in his kingdom. He tells his disciples who are standing there with him that some of them will not die before they see a second coming happen.
That's not what he says.
Oh, we'll read it again. That's fine. I know you probably haven't read it. That's fine.
No, I'm not saying that's not what he says. I'm saying your interpretation.
No, I'm not interpreting. I'm reading it verbatim. So when we go to Matthew 16, it says, "For the Son of Man is to come with his angels in the glory of his Father, and then he will repay everyone for what has been done." What is the Son of Man coming with his angels in the glory of his Father, and then repaying everyone for what has been done? What is that?
That's the end times.
Correct. That's the second comment. You're correct. Truly I tell you, there are some standing here who will not taste death before they see the Son of Man coming in his kingdom. So, did he come in his kingdom? Did the second coming happen already?
Well, it depends what you mean by that.
What do you mean?
Well, first of all, we already know. I'm sure you read the Bible front to cover.
Yeah.
You know that the Bible's language is not always literal. So
I'm
you know
aware.
that when he,
I'm
you know
aware.
that when he's,
So what is this a metaphor for then?
well, because God. Hold on, let me speak. God already knew that the apostles were going to write all of Jesus' teachings, all of Jesus' sayings.
I'm sure you believe that.
Is that correct or no?
I'm sure you believe that.
All right. But if Christianity is true, then you would have to concede that God already knew that the apostles would write Jesus's.
I don't have to concede anything because I don't believe that God exists.
I said if Christianity was true.
But it's not. So
Okay.
Matthew
You don't
16,
understand how debate works, do you?
I know you don't understand. So in Matthew 16, I want you to address Matthew 16.
I'm going to.
So you're making the claim it's a metaphor. Is that what your claim is?
I'm claiming that the language isn't specifically verbatim, as you're trying to interpret it as.
Okay, so then what is it a metaphor for?
He's speaking to the apostles as a microcosm to speaking of humanity as a whole.
Oh, where does it say that in the text?
Well, because I'm explaining that God already knew that the apostles were going to write.
Was all of humanity standing there with him when he said this?
Again, if you let me finish the sentence, I said that God already knew that the apostles were going to write everything Jesus taught them.
I'm sure you believe that.
Right. So when he says that, he's saying that with the context that he knows the apostles are going to write it down. And then what that's telling humanity is that some of us will not die before the second coming comes.
Talking to his disciples. Jesus is talking to his disciples here. We'll start from a little bit earlier in the text. We'll start in verse 24. Then Jesus told his disciples, if any want to become my followers, let them deny themselves and take up their cross and follow me. For those who want to save their life will lose it, and those who lose their life for my sake will find it. So who is he talking to?
He's talking to the apostles.
Okay, the disciples. And then he says, for the Son of Man is to come with his angels in the glory of his Father, and then he will repay everyone for what has been done. That's the judgment. Truly I tell you, there are some standing here who will not taste death before they see the Son of Man coming in his kingdom. He's talking to his disciples who are standing there with him. He's not talking to...
Wait, read the verse again.
For the Son of Man is to come with his angels in the glory of his Father, and then he will repay everyone for what has been done. That's the judgment. Truly I tell you, there are some standing here who will not taste death before they see the Son of Man coming in his kingdom. So he tells some of his disciples. He tells his disciples that some of them will not die before they see this happen.
I mean, I think you're missing the most basic idea of reading the Bible, right? Is that some of the language is going to be hyperbolic, some of the language is not going to be literal.
So
like for example, when hold on. For example, when the Bible says that Jesus sits on the right hand of God, that's not literal language, is it?
Actually, yeah, it would be. The idea is that he goes up into heaven and he sits by the right hand of God.
So you think there's a literal throne that God's sitting on?
According to the narrative, yeah. It's not hyper. No. Where do you get that hyperbolic language? Where does it say that in the text?
Because you understand and interpret it based on what we know about God.
So you're creating your own theology. That's fantastic. So you're just creating your own version of Christianity.
Whoa, that's not true at all.
It's funny because I'll speak to 1,000 Christians that come up here and they will tell me that he is literally sitting at the right hand of the Father because that's what the book says.
Okay, and if 1,000 Christians think it's true, is it true?
You're making your own theology. That's hilarious. I'm telling you that from the text itself. What the text says is it makes that claim. Yes, it makes the claim that he will sit at the right hand of the Father when he ascends. He actually tells you this himself in John 20. He tells Mary that he's going to ascend to the Father soon. And then he's going to go up to the Father into their God and his God. So yeah. So in Matthew 16, 27 to 28, when he tells him...
You're jumping verses. Should I address the John verse, or are you going to move on?
Not jumping verses. I'm going back to the verse that we were talking about. Mainly, this is the verse that we're talking about, the second coming verse. He tells them that the Son of Man is to come with his angels in the glory of his Father, and then he will repay everyone for what has been done. You and me both agree that that is the judgment. That is the second coming when he comes back with his angels, the glory of his Father, and then he conducts the judgment. Okay. Truly, I tell you, there are some standing here who will not taste death before they see the Son of Man coming in his kingdom. What part of this is hyperbolic? How can you tell?
I can tell because obviously that wasn't true. So we have to interpret it.
Because he lied. Yeah, that's all it is. He lied. That's all it was.
He didn't lie. He didn't lie. We have to interpret his message.
Did he say something that was untrue?
Again, I can tell you've never been to a Bible study before, which is fine.
I'm aware your Bible study is probably lying to you when they're probably making the claim that this is hyperbolic since it didn't happen. I'm telling you, I'm just looking at it for what it says, and I'm just telling you straight up that it didn't happen. It's not hyperbolic. There's nothing in the text that indicates that this is a hyperbole. He tells his disciples that some of them will not taste death before they see this happen. So I'm asking you,
where in any verse of the Bible do they specify that it's a hyperbole?
I'm asking you to what your methodology is for determining that this is a hyperbole. What is your methodology?
Are you gonna mute me every time you don't want me to speak? Like,
No, I'm muting you because I asked you a direct question. You didn't answer it. You went off on something else, so I muted you, and I'm bringing you back to the question, which is what is your methodology for determining that this is a hyperbole?
Funny that you want to control the conversation. Anyways, so
you a direct question because I'm not letting you run from this. What is your methodology for determining what is hyperbole and what isn't?
I guess when you're reading the text, for example, when it says that Jesus ate a fish, in no way you're going to read that and understand that to be a hyperbole. So it's the Bible is an everlasting interpretation, and we're going to get it.
That some of his disciples won't die before they see his second coming. I have no reason to believe that's a hyperbole. I have every reason to believe, however, that
some of you
will not die. That means that some will and some won't.
Yes, and he's talking to humanity as a whole. Some of you...
No, he isn't. That's not in the text anywhere. You have to add that. This is the thing. This is what I'm talking about. You probably go to church and your bullcrap Bible studies where they lie to you. I'm aware. Why don't you actually address what the text says? Does the text anywhere in there say that he's talking to all of humanity? Does it say that in the text?
Again, when has a single hyperbole in the entire Bible?
Clippy, that was a yes or a no. Zippy, that was a Clippy. That was a yes or a no question.
Okay, say it again then.
Where in the text does he say that he's...
That's a yes or no question? Ask a yes or no question.
Yeah. Anywhere in the text does he ever say that this is all of humanity that he's speaking to?
Specifically verbatim?
Yeah.
No, does that mean he's not?
Yeah, I mean, unless you can show me a reason why I would think that, no.
Okay, so you're saying every single time there's a hyperbolic language, or there's any...
In the text itself, he says there are some standing here. Who was standing there with him?
Okay, so I have a question. Am I going to have to address everything you say, and then you just address nothing I say?
That was a direct question. Who was standing there with him when he told them this?
Are you going to address everything I say, and I'm not going to address...
Who was standing there with him when he said this?
Oh, I forgot I'm muted. You just keep muting me. Sorry. What?
I mute you when you're not on track.
Well, it's an
Who was
unfair
there-
conversation if you're not going to respond to anything I say.
Who was standing there with him when he said this?
The disciples.
Okay, he directly says there are some standing here. Why would I ever in a million years interpret that as being about everybody on the planet, 2,000 years from then?
Well, because everything he taught the disciples is a reflection on how he wants to treat all of humanity. I mean, that's like a second grade interpretation of the Bible.
Except it's not. Except in this specific verse where he says the people standing there, the people standing here. He's not talking about something 2,000 years later. I agree that later on he tells his disciples to go out and teach people the things that he had taught them. Does not include this. This wouldn't include this because he says the people standing there with him are the people that he is talking to. He says that some of them would not die before they saw his second coming. He's not talking to all of humanity here. He's specifically talking to specific people.
The structure of your question is already flawed because you're recognizing that in the Bible there's parables, there's hyperbolic language, there's figurative language, and then you ask a question like, where in the text does it say it's a hyperbole? Even though you understand. That was like one of the first questions.
I asked you what your methodology would be.
No, that's what you're asking me now because you realize the first question was an idiotic
I'm asking you what in the text would lead me to believe that is what I'm asking you. Then I rephrased it as what is your methodology because I thought that way you might understand it better if I phrased what is your methodology. Before that, I was asking you what in the text would lead me to believe that when it seems like you didn't understand that's what I was asking. I was like, okay, well, what is your methodology? I just rephrased my questioning because I didn't know if you understood.
Right, so the methodology for understanding that verse would be that he obviously didn't come. So what that means is that he wouldn't.
Failed. So then it just failed. At that point, you have to just assume, because of prior bias, that he is then speaking hyperbolic. I'm just saying that if you just look at this without a past bias, that it's very clear that he was just wrong because there is nothing in the text that would ever lead me to believe that this was hyperbolic. There's nothing in the text that would ever lead me to believe that this was a figurative language. There's nothing in the text that would ever lead me to believe that this is not what he's exactly saying, especially when there are other places where he says this.
So you're saying that looking back, at the verse, and you're saying that because we have past knowledge, and we're saying that it must be hyperbolic language.
I didn't say anything about past knowledge. I said you have a bias. You have a bias because you already believe that it's true. That shouldn't be your starting point.
You're just replacing the word bias with knowledge. You're adding nothing to the phrase.
No, I'm not. When did I say knowledge? Who said knowledge? I didn't say anything about knowledge. I said you have a bias. So your starting point is that Jesus has to be right. Jesus can't be wrong. I'm saying let's actually start at the beginning. Let's say, okay, until I have evidence that Jesus was right, I would just assume that he was wrong here. So then, other than this, what evidence would you have that Jesus was right when he said this? Without this, what evidence would you have? That's what I'm asking you.
That's where I wanted to start the debate. I wanted to prove Jesus' divinity because I'm sure you understand if I can prove Jesus' divinity, I can prove he was never wrong.
You won't like this. Go ahead. Make an argument for Jesus' divinity, and I'll make an argument for other people's. I can make an argument for other people's. I could make an argument that Aristeas rose from the dead.
No, you couldn't, bro.
Oh, yes, I could. We have 4 historians that wrote about it.
Okay, did they die for that belief?
Wait, so Muslims must be... Islam must be correct because people in Islam died for the beliefs of Muhammad and Allah. Oh, wait, Joseph Smith must be right because people who followed Joseph Smith died in a battle because they believed in those things. The people... Oh, my God. Jim Jones must have been right. Jim Jones must have been right, everybody. We all should have, we missed our chance because, people willingly unalive themselves for that. I mean, we missed our chance, everybody. This is the thing, is people willing to die for something doesn't indicate that it is true. It indicates that they believed that it was true. That doesn't actually mean that it is because beliefs can be wrong.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I agree. Beliefs can be wrong.
There you go. So now we're on the same page. That the idea that people somehow died for Jesus's things, that's not special because people also died for the belief in Muhammad. People died for those beliefs. They were martyred for those beliefs in horrible ways. The other thing is that we don't really know that much about how the early Christians were martyred. We only know from the book itself about 4 of them. And then later we have an extra one which comes from the apocryphal Acts of Peter. So
okay, but hold on. You're getting off topic. Hold on. Let's stay on the topic. Let's stay on the topic.
Hey! You made the claim. You made the claim that they were willing to die for.
Yeah, so let me support it.
I'm telling you. Yeah,
let me support it.
Okay. Okay. I'm telling you that from within the text itself, we only have 4. We only have 4 people who are said to die. None of them were any of the 12. They were not the 12. Peter, technically, he was one of the ones that died. He was a disciple. He wasn't necessarily one of the 12, but he did die for them. But yeah. So what would then be your evidence? What was that? I don't know.
Okay, again, I'm sure Muslims died because they believed in what Muhammad taught. That's different than Christian dying because they claim to see Jesus rise from the dead.
Which one of them claimed to see it, and where's your evidence of this?
Well, there's over 500 accounts that said that Jesus.
No, there aren't.
There are.
No, there aren't.
Okay.
Name me one of the eyewitness accounts. Name me one of them.
How about the authors of the gospel?
None of them are eyewitnesses. They all come later. The earliest one is 40 years. We have no reason to believe that it's an eyewitness. Even if you believe that it is actually authored by John Mark wasn't an eyewitness to anything. At the very most, he's second or third hand.
How do you know? Again. How do you know that's true?
If he's John Mark, the cousin of Barnabas, the traveling companion of Peter, he didn't actually see anything. Where in the book does it ever make the claim that he's an eyewitness to anything?
In history, I mean, you can say that about almost anyone. Like, these people couldn't have existed.
Oh, that's not true at all.
That is
Julius Caesar. True. Are you aware that we have actual writings from Julius Caesar? We actually have
more writings. We have more writings about Jesus than we have about Julius Caesar. What are you talking about?
Copies that contain things that aren't true.
Okay, like what?
Full of contradictions, demonstrable lies, anachronisms. The Gospels are terrible. The Gospels have no idea what the hell is going on in the Hebrew Bible. They have no idea.
I don't.
Have you actually looked into this at all? Have you looked up into the mistakes that Jesus made? You do realize Jesus makes several mistakes regarding the Hebrew Bible, right?
Can I guess one?
Yeah, go to Matthew 22. What does he say about Psalm 110 in Matthew 22, 41 to 45?
Are you talking about the fact that his father called him Lord?
Yeah, it doesn't say that, by the way. So he's making the claim in Psalm 110.
That's so not true.
He makes the claim in Psalm 110. He makes the claim that Psalm 110 is saying the Lord said to my Lord, and that it is David calling the Messiah Lord. Do you agree with him?
I mean, I'd have to look into the specific verse, but almost every single contemporary philosopher disagrees with you, which is fine.
Well, I can just prove them all wrong right here. I'll literally pull it up on the screen for you, and I can show you that they were just all damn wrong. It's not hard. I can just pull it up on the screen here. Oh, that's not it. Hold on. There we go. That's it. Okay. So first we'll read what Matthew says about it. We'll read what Jesus supposedly says about it in Matthew, and then we'll see if it actually comports to what the verse actually says. Well, it's not hard. I like this. I live for this. Matthew 22, 41 to 45. Now while the Pharisees were gathered together, Jesus asked them this question, "What do you think of the Messiah? Whose son is he?" They said to him, "The son of David." He said to them, "How is it then that David by the Spirit calls him Lord, saying, 'The Lord said to my Lord, sit at my right hand until I put your enemies under your feet'? If David thus calls him Lord, how can he be his son?" So he's making the claim that the Lord said to my Lord is David calling the Messiah Lord. Do you agree or disagree with Jesus?
I would agree.
It doesn't say that. What it says is Lativim Mismoris. That's for David, a psalm. This is a psalm, and it is for David. Naum Yahweh La'adoni. So this is for David, a psalm, an oracle or an utterance of Yahweh to my master. This is somebody giving a message from Yahweh to King David. This is Yahweh speaking to David. This is not David speaking to anybody. David's not even speaking in this chapter anywhere. Not in a single place does he ever say anything. So he sure as hell is not calling anybody Lord.
Yeah, that's a fake translation, bro.
This is the fucking Hebrew.
Yeah, you don't speak Hebrew, bro.
What's that word right there? Do you see that one right there? Which one? Read it. Go ahead and read it for me.
Which word?
The first word.
I can't see that word because it's covered by a bunch of stuff on the top of the thing. On the top of the live, I can't read.
By the one. By the one.
By the one.
You see the one right there, right?
I do not see the one.
Okay, hold on, where's my hand at? There it is. Lay the V, Miss Moore. This is for David.
Yeah. I get that that's the Hebrew, but I'm saying you have a fake translation, bro.
I'm telling you, okay, so do you speak Hebrew?
No, but I know you don't.
Then shut the fuck up about it then.
I know you don't, though.
I don't speak fluent Hebrew, but I can read it.
There you go. Pull up the English one. Pull up the English verse.
Why would I pull? You do actually. I can demonstrate this to you in the English translation. The name of Yahweh. They always replace the name of Yahweh with capital Lord. Guess what appears in Psalm 110? Capital Lord, because it's Yahweh.
Yeah, so let me see the verse in English, please.
Yeah, I'm pulling up right now. Like, I'll pull it up right now for you. Hold on.
I know Hebrew. I know Hebrew. I don't know what y'all talking about in the comments.
You don't know a fucking word of Hebrew. I guarantee you.
Ani rotse halach.
Oh, so then you should know this then. Na'um Yahweh la'adoni. An oracle or an utterance of Yahweh to my master.
That's not a real translation, bro. Come on.
Okay, I can just bring up a Hebrew scholar. I can bring up Ben up here. Ben, are you still out there right now? Ben speaks Hebrew very fluently.
And Ben's one of your guys. Ben's one of your guys.
You're fucking done, by the way. You are done. You're cooked here.
Ben's one of your guys, bro. He's just gonna give you the right translation you want.
Somebody who speaks Hebrew.
Okay, so
then read this for me. Then read it for me. Go ahead.
Yahweh, it's
Show me where the word Lord is in there. There's only one Lord in this verse. There's only one Lord in this verse. It's the second Lord, and that's David.
Yeah, and you're not translating it right, bro.
I am. Le Devi Miss More. What does that mean? Le Devi Miss More.
Le Devi Miss More basically is like just translation. It's basically just a translation.
You're done. You're done. This is you have no idea what you're talking about anymore. This is hilarious. Le Devi Miss More is for David, a psalm. It uses the preposition lamed, which is for, to, or about. So it's for David, to David, or about David. All right. So it's Le Devi Miss More. That's for David, a psalm. Na'um Yahweh la'adoni. This is an oracle or an utterance of Yahweh to somebody's master. The master is David. The Lord is David.
Let me look this up.
Yeah, please do. Please do.
Because you're not right, unfortunately.
I know that I'm right. This is the thing is you're already roasted on this. You are already roasted.
Let's see.
Buddy, you're done. So first you lie about knowing Hebrew.
I know Hebrew.
Well, apparently you... How come you can't read this then? Okay, well maybe you know some Hebrew, but you can't read this.
Let's see.
If you could read this, you would know exactly what it says. Or maybe you do know what it says and you're just scared. You're scared to admit it. Could be that too.
Let's read this. Hold on. Oh yeah, no, this is not right either. What's the verse?
Psalm 110, verse 1.
Let's go.
Yeah. Le Devi Miss More, that is for David, a psalm. Le Devi Miss More. Na'um Yahweh la'adoni.
Oh no, you're already wrong.
Oh, I'm not. So what does the preposition lamed mean?
Oh, you're actually already wrong there.
What is the preposition lamed mean?
The Lord says to my Lord, sit at my right hand.
There's no Lord here. What word is Lord here? And in this Hebrew, what word is Lord?
Again, I'm reading literally the English translation.
Don't care about your English translation. I'm asking you about what the actual language says. You know, the language that the original language.
The Lord says to my Lord, sit at my right hand until I make your enemies your footstool.
Okay, I'm muting you now. Show me in the first in the verse where the word Lord is in there. Go ahead, show me.
Okay, let's see.
Which word is it?
I'm looking.
This dude is done. He's done. How's it feel knowing you're going to go on YouTube in front of a bunch of people and they're going to see this? I really want to know what it feels like to be going on YouTube after you just made a fool of yourself. And I never claimed to know Hebrew either, by the way. I know some Hebrew. I know some.
You definitely did.
I didn't. This is actually all on recording, and this is going on YouTube, and people are going to see that I never once claimed to actually know Hebrew.
What's up, YouTube?
I know some Hebrew.
What's good, YouTube?
You'll find it. Yeah, and you're gonna and people are gonna see.
The Lord says to my Lord, sit at my right hand.
Where is the Lord? Hey, tell me where the Lord is. Show me where the
Lord is. The Lord says to my Lord, sit at my right hand.
Where's the Lord? No. So listen, I'm muting you again because you're not listening. Where is?
Can we get one more mute? Can we get one more mute?
Where is the first Lord?
One more mute. Give me one more mute. Come on.
I know. So you're a troll. So this is what Christians do when you debunk their worldviews. They just resort to troll to being a troll.
It's just you're just funny. That's all.
All right. So here's what we're gonna do. I'm gonna mute you again. It's gonna be the last time I ask you before I drop you, and that'll be your concession. It's just what word is the first Lord? Tell me. Read it for me. Read the Hebrew for me.
Let's see.
If you can read it.
Don't know Hebrew, so I don't even know why you're asking me to read the Hebrew.
So you're a lying sack of shit too. What does Revelation 21:8 say about liars?
I just said that the only Hebrew I know is Ani Rotzechala. So I didn't.
Okay, but a minute ago, you said you did know Hebrew. A minute ago, it's all on recording. Every bit of it is on recording.
Oh no, it's on recording.
Mm-hmm.
Oh shoot, I can't get out of that one, huh? Okay, let's see.
Get the fuck out of my box, troll. Anyways.